So I want to say welcome to the live training, you guys, as you all are coming in. If you're joining me live, comment live, or if you're joining in on a replay, comment replay. Today's topic. Hey, Margaret, I see Margaret's here. Laura's here. How are you guys? All right, perfect. Here, hello, everything is okay. Live, awesome. Thank you, Laura. Perfect. Appreciate that. All right, awesome. So we're good to go. So welcome to the live training, guys. If you're joining me, like I said, let me know that you're here. And I'm trying to toggle between screens so that I can see your comments now on one screen. And so if you guys have questions, I can go ahead and answer them for you. So today's training topic is about center conversations, and I'm excited to talk about it because many teachers don't realize the power of conversations and having conversations with their students, intentional conversations with your students. And I do want to shout out Laura. I know, Laura, you're here. I do want to shout out Laura, and we want to thank her. Everybody thank her in the comments for this topic because she actually requested this topic. So yes, thank you, Laura, for that. So as some of you guys are coming on in, I am Tiffany, and I help pre-K teachers command their classroom with confidence and build stronger classroom communities so that they can save time, stress less, and succeed more. Again, today's topic, we're talking about center conversations, how to enhance them, how to get your students to say what they're working on in centers, and to build those conversational skills with them. You're welcome. And you're welcome, Laura. In the classroom. All right. Check the time. Okay, perfect. Okay, we're ready. We are ready. So if you're ready to learn more, comment one. Drop a one in the comments. I'm going to ask you guys to interact and engage in these live trainings. You will get more value. It will be more fun. I'm going to be reading some of your guys' comments. Any questions you have too as well, drop it in the comment section so that we can be, this is an interactive group, okay? We learn more, you do more, you learn more, okay? The value increases. So comment, chat if you are ready to learn. All right. So, all right, so let's go ahead and get started, guys. Conversations. Conversation is it's a powerful yet overlooked tool that teachers either use or they don't use, or maybe not, we don't have the knowledge of how to do it. Okay, it's over of a huge part of classroom management is being able to navigate those conversations. When students constantly talk about what they're doing in their centers or with the activities that they're working on, they stay engaged and they actually build connections and develop certain language skills. And many teachers can struggle with this due to maybe certain beliefs that we have. So let's go ahead and break those beliefs down inside of this training tonight. So the number one thing, false belief that some teachers may have is that, you know, okay, if I just walk around the classroom, if I just walk around and ask, they'll start talking, right? So let me just go to the center let me ask them what they're working on, and they're just going to tell me. Yay! But it doesn't always work like that, because young children, our students, they're not trained, or they don't have the experience that we have, conversational skills that we have, on how to answer those questions and how to basically naturally explain what they're thinking without us guiding them. So simple questions basically that we ask, what are you doing? It might lead to one word answers or blank stares. Who knows what I mean? I know I've been there before, where you ask them and they just kind of look at you and you're like, no, really, like, what are you doing? What are you building? What are you making? And it may be one word answer, or you get very little out of them. When what you actually want is for them to start engaging into a conversation where they say something and then you say something back, and then it leads to a conversation, right? Okay, so no longer do you have blank stares and whatnot. So chat, Laura says chat. Yeah, let's do it. So there is a delay. I don't know. There's a delay. I appreciate you guys. So, or something outlandish, right, Laura? Okay, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I mean. You know what I mean? It'll be something like just off top. Yeah. So they basically need to be guided and taught. And what you need to do is model for them language, right? So we're modeling the language for them during center time when they're in center times. We're showing the students how to basically describe their play. So one thing you might want to use is what I call sentence stems, and that's so they can complete your sentence, right? So I am building a XYZ, or I'm making a blank. So you're modeling that for them on how to respond, so that you do have more structured responses during your center time activity and when they're playing at the tables. And it's very important to consistently practice this daily. Like, engage with them, go sit at their center, rotate centers. Maybe you have a schedule, however it works in your classroom, but engage with them in different centers, because you play differently in different centers. You're going to play different in housekeeping, and then you play at the math center or at the reading. So it's very important for you to model those behaviors on how to play in those areas, number one, and then how to engage in conversations in those, okay? So it's very important to consistently practice this daily inside of your classroom. Very important to make those conversations during center time and make it basically a habit, like I was saying, all right? So if you're not having these conversations in your classrooms, if you're getting these one-word answers or these outlandish answers in your classroom about what they're doing, you could be missing out on some things. Your students could struggle to express themselves, and they may begin to rely on gestures or maybe even silence. And these are missed opportunities for building the communication and the communication skills inside of your classroom, okay? And this is why you need this. So I want you to think about this. Imagine, okay, your students basically naturally saying, I'm building a zoo for the giraffe, like in the book that we read earlier. What? Okay. And I know he eats tall leaves off the trees, so I'm building a tree over here so that he can eat it and start expanding their vocabulary, basically. Or, have a classroom filled with basically purposeful conversations, and you can see them visibly, you can see them thinking by what they're producing at that center, okay? So maybe, you struggle with getting your students to talk about their play. you know, like I said, the one word answers, comment, that's me. Let me know. I'm not the only one that struggled with this. Getting your students to be able to enhance their conversational skills basically and tell you what they're exactly working on, right? And it's so fun. It is so fun, and the opportunity to see their growth when you start to model for this and show them how to basically play and answer these questions. You know, when you give give them those stems, the conversations that you start, the type of conversations that you'll start to see in your classroom and here are going to be completely different. They're going to be enhanced. You're going to be like, what? I cannot believe, like, they soak it all up once we teach it to them. All right, so that was number 1. Give me number 2 in the chat if you're ready for the number 2 belief that we think that might work, but maybe not. Give me number 2. If you're ready for me to make point number 2. Laura says, yes, it's especially hard in a dramatic play because they all interpret differently. And they could also see, right, and they can also see it may look different in their house as opposed to another person's house. I like the sentence stem. Yes. Awesome, Laura. Okay, great. See, I love it. I love the feedback. Yes. So, Laura, practice that. Make that a goal tomorrow. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's make these changes in our classroom like now. Okay. Awesome. I love it. Give me a number 2 in the chat if you're ready for number 2. All right. And sometimes if they're quiet, if your students are quiet during center time, and you know, we may think that maybe if they don't talk, they might not know what they're necessarily doing. Like they don't understand how to they don't necessarily understand how to put the pieces together, or they're confused, or they just don't have the words, or they just don't know what they're doing, like I said before. But the reality is many students, they know basically exactly what they're doing, but they don't have the words to explain it. So we need is more small groups, putting them in small group and interacting with them inside of those small groups. Teach them how to talk. Teach them your language. Teach them, it's like a love language, right? Laura says number 2. So teach them, you know, it's like we have love languages, so do the kids. All right, let's learn how to communicate together and make it a more productive environment and learning environment for them. So we have to teach them how to talk about their work in low pressure settings, okay? So that like during small groups, that's perfect time where you're modeling for them how to respond, ask them different types of questions, and basically asking them types of questions that will get them to expand their vocabulary, right? Another thing is that you could use is peer modeling, okay? So basically, you have different types of learners. You have different types of students in your classroom. You have the ones who are outspoken. You have the ones who are quiet, who are shy, different personalities, right? So your confident students who do love to go up in front of the classroom basically and communicate. Let them go first. Let them show others too, or the ones that pick up quicker on how to answer the questions you want to. Like, oh yes, I love the way, Billy, yes, that's exactly right. I love how you ... And you even told me this about that ... because you realized and you knew that it needed ... So you're using your modeling with that students to your other students on what exactly is expected and what you're looking forward to. Okay, looking forward to them basically displaying to you. So another thing is using questions that are prompts, like tell me about this part of the house that you're making. Tell me about this, instead of what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm playing. That's what they're thinking. I'm playing. Why are you asking? Like, I'm playing? Like, what? So don't ask them. Ask them more so about what they're doing inside of their play. All right? That will help also. Now, if you're not doing this, you're missing the opportunity to basically assess their understanding and deepen their learning. Okay, the students, they may disengage, or they may even feel unseen if you're not engaging in these conversations. So now they're starting to play by themselves. They're quiet, or they're more reserved. Or can I get an or in the comment? Or you see the complete opposite, and you see them playing with the dinosaurs at the table, like they're fighting with the dinosaurs, or like it's completely different, where they don't know how to play. They don't know what's expected. They're in a classroom full of 20 people, and they've never been like this before. They've never been in this environment before, or maybe they have been in preschool before or pre-K before. So either they're going to disengage and feel unseen because you're not engaging in conversation with them, or if you're not doing it, they're going to do it their way. And their way needs a little tweaking, right? To get detailed answers, processing. And there's a, hey Christine, what's going on? There's a delay, of course, in Facebook. Christine, I don't know. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday. I love seeing you. All right. Laura, during center, do you have your assistant teacher also pull a group? Yes, we both take turns doing it. But some days, hey, some days it might just be her. Some days it might just be me, depending on what needs to be done in the classroom. Some days it could be both of us. So it doesn't matter as long as you guys are, engaging in that conversation with them as consistently as possible on a daily basis. That makes a huge difference. I hope I elaborated on that enough, Laura. If not, let me know. All right. So, all right. So if you're not asking them questions like that, instead of like, what are you doing? Playing. They're going to be like playing. Instead of asking questions like that, if you're not asking them questions more so about what they're doing inside of their play, you could be missing out. You could be missing out on several opportunities in your classroom, right? Just imagine you could have a classroom where imagine this. Do you think work and skill right now? I work on the lesson of the day. She will work on their skill. However, I feel like it would be best if she pushes in. Laura, you could message me that. I'm not really sure, Laura, what exactly you mean by that. It's just the wording. Christine, I see them not functional and play, like going to the Yeah. Yep. So when situations like that happen, it's because, I mean, that could be naturally, but once you train them, like I said, guys, you got to work on this every day. Once you train them on how to play with those toys, your expectations, how to engage in those conversations with them, you'll start to see kind of some of those things level out. And so, yes, Christine said parents don't seem to work enough on play. And this is the thing. At home, it's different than in the classroom. In the classroom, you have like 20 different people to work on, to practice working on a skill or a center, working at a center with all these students. And at home, it's completely different. So one thing is, it's our job to teach them how to work in the classroom of students with toys, showing them our expectations. And I don't even expect the parents to have to do anything to do with it, because you set your expectations in your classroom. Now, I'm not saying all of our students are going to be like, ooh, I'm going to do it the perfect way all the time, every time. I'm a perfect student. No, but that's one thing. I don't put anything off on the parents. Like, we've got to set the stage in our classrooms. And when we start doing that and working with our students and engaging with them and including them in the classroom community, things will start to change. Look, you guys are engaging in a chat together. I love it. I love it. Yes, Christine, Laura. Yes, you're right, Christine. We have to be direct. We have to redirect or direct the play. Yeah, it is very important. All right. So when you start to do this, you'll start to see different types of conversations going on in your classroom. Like, I made a ramp for my cars because they go down fast, down a slope. Like, what? The students start developing reasoning skills, the reason why we do things, the reason why I'm building the roof on top of this house is because, or the reason why I'm putting this car in the garage is because maybe it's raining outside. They start to develop these reasoning skills, right? And feel valued because you're listening to them. You're listening to them. You're listening to what they have to say. You're interested in what they have to say. And so they get more excited about what's going on in the classroom. Right? All right, cool. So, let me ask, have any of you guys been in this situation in your classroom where you ask your students what they're building? It's very clear on what they're building, and they're just not giving you anything. They're not giving you anything. And a lot of times you could say that's me. And a lot of times that's because we haven't worked on how to train their brain. Yes, it's like just what I told you, right, Laura? We have to train their brain. We, as the educators and the teachers, the rock star teachers, let me get some rock star hands in the comments if you're a rock star teacher, right? Rock star teachers in your classroom to build that community. It's our responsibility to build up this inside of our classroom. Okay, it is. We have to train their brain on how we want them to interact, how we want them to think, how to think inside of a classroom full of 20, 25 students, however many you have, right? And it's not that they just don't understand and they won't tell you. It's that they don't really have the words for it, right? So number 3. Yep. All right. So number 3, the third thing that I want to talk about, tonight. If you're ready for number 3, drop a 3 in the comments. All right. All right. There's your 3, Laura. Laura gives me a 3. All right, Laura's ready. All right, Christine, let's do it. 3 straight across the board. Raquette, you're here. You made it. Good. Oh, hope you feel better. Tammy says 3. Hey, Tammy. All right, guys, let's go. I love the interaction and engagement. Let's keep it up. Keep it going. Keep the momentum going. All right. So the third thing is, I love that I can see all the comments now. The third belief is, well, if I just let them play, the talking will come naturally. Well, reality is, play can be powerful, but structured conversations don't just happen by accident. Structured conversations don't happen by accident. You have to teach them how to. Okay, so if you're ready for some tips on how to teach them, comment tips in the chat. A few things that you can try. You're welcome, Raquette. All right. So the third thing is what you want to do is we talked about role playing with you, role playing in front of the classroom, modeling, you actually physically modeling, like you on the carpet, you are modeling to the class and how to practice how to narrate play, right? So you'll give them prompts with the toys that you're working with, and you're giving them prompts how to have simple conversations. So you're narrating the play now for them, okay? So they see how to hold conversations about their play. Y'all, this is so powerful. In your classroom, all right, to have these conversation starters in your centers. All right, another thing is to be a responsive teacher. What do I mean by that? Use rich vocabulary. Use vocabulary that they don't know. I do it all the time, and then you hear them talking about this inside the classroom, like oh my gosh, this happens a lot. So I'll use a word, use a sentence, and I'll use a word in a sentence that's bigger than their vocabulary, but I use it in context. So, and I'll reiterate, listen to what I'm saying again. I'm going to repeat what I'm saying. I'll repeat it. I use that bigger word to explain something. And then they use the context. And I say, what do you think I mean by that? Sometimes you're going to hear words and you don't know what they mean, but if you listen to the conversation, you'll be able to pick up on what it has to do with. And every time they can nail it, right? So this is an example of practicing engaging in play, using rich vocabulary in play, because they start to use these during their center times. Engaging in that rich vocabulary to help them, give them the words that they need. Give them the words that they need to explain what it is that they are, what they're doing. Okay. So Christine uses, she uses pictures from flyers of appropriate play to display. So that's another thing. You guys can get ideas from each other. So what you're missing, guys, from not having this is that your center time, it may become less meaningful. We talked about this before. It may be noisy. Students miss out on these vocabulary opportunities on how to express themselves instead of hitting, instead of throwing tantrums, instead of, I say hitting, kicking, throwing, whatever. Now they have the words that they did not have before to express themselves. So now you see less behavior issues in your classroom as well. It all works. All these classroom management techniques work together. Okay. Like I said, students miss out on vocabulary opportunities. They miss out on turn taking because they don't know how to take turns. They don't know how to share toys, or they don't know how to take turns with the toys. And so they lack that deeper thinking that they need so that your classroom can run more smoothly. I think we all had something, because I had something too, Christine. Yeah, right. You guys both feel we all join together, all feel better. Yes. So, once you start doing this, guys, you'll start to have your block center, or like, we'll use that one as an example, the block center filled with your students, instead of just sitting there building blocks, or building them taller than their head, or knocking them down, or pushing them over, or throwing them. You're going to now start to see a change in how your students play. Now you're going to start to hear these conversations in your classroom, like, I need a tall block for my tower, as opposed to just sitting there building. Now they're starting to put words with their actions, okay? So it strengthens their conversational skills. I love it. Love, love, love it. So now, let's see. Let me check the comments. All right. So some of us may be thinking, we wish our students would tell us their ideas instead of just showing you. Comment, that's me if that's you. The bottom line is getting your students to talk in centers, and it's not about luck. It's about intentionally teaching them how to do it. Teaching them how to do it. So this, guys, is how you create engaging, talk-filled centers, okay? This is exactly how you do it. So the points that we talked about today and what we went over today during today's training is, number one, if I just walk around and ask, they'll start talking. Number two, if they don't talk, they must not know what exactly they're doing or how to do it. And number three is, if I just let them play, the talking will come naturally. Now, after the training tonight, all that's not true. It's all in us conditioning them on how to engage in purposeful and meaningful conversations. Okay. So those are the type of things we're talking about, and some things that those are 3 things that I want to talk to you about that teachers are missing. So if you find that your center time is not being engaged with conversations like they should be, to help them expand the vocabulary, expand their social skills as well, you're likely missing these things in your classroom. And this is why in my coaching program, this is one of my favorite things that I love helping other teachers with. I work with you one-on-one. And I not only teach you the exact fail-proof systems that I use in my classroom for these exact routines, I also teach you the rules, other rules, classroom management boundaries that you need to put in place during the day to have your classroom running smoothly. And real quickly, we actually had quality rated come in our classroom this week or last week. They came in, and the quality rated okay, drive safe, okay. Quality rated came in, and she said, I love coming into your classroom. She said, every time I come in your classroom, you guys are always doing amazing things, and your kids are always listening, like they're always tuned in. They're always excited and engaged. She's like, is it like this all the time? I'm like, yeah, pretty much, because of the systems classroom management that we have in place. Not only for center times, like asking the questions for tonight, but other aspects of the classroom as well. She's like, I love coming into this classroom. And I'm like, I love having you. So that's just an example of when you set these expectations and these boundaries in your classroom, other people will start to see. That was just recently, last week or this week, that she came in. Other people will start to see. Parents will start to see. They're going to become amazed. Your directors may come and see. And if not, your assistant teacher will start to see. Quality rated. State came in. Every time state comes in my room, they're amazed. Not just at this school, but other schools as well. And that's why I love teaching you guys and coaching you guys on how to implement the same things inside of your classroom, because you will start to see amazing things, not just of these outside people, but you will see these amazing changes in your classroom. So I teach you these exact systems that I use in my classroom inside of the program. All right. So if you feel stuck or you think that you've tried it all, but you can't get there, you're at a loss of what to do now, you're a passionate teacher, you just are missing that one link, and it's hard to do it by yourself when you don't have the resources or the knowledge of how to do it, that's where I come into play. This is what I specialize in. This is my joy, my passion. My main coaching is solving classroom management problems in the pre-K classroom. Okay, this is what I do with my clients with the cohesive classroom method. It's my method that I use for solving classroom management problems so that we can build stronger communities inside of our classrooms by ourselves. Even when we don't have the outside resources to do it, or outside help that we think we need, there's still a way to do it. There's a way you can do it inside your classroom. All right, so I want you to comment, chat, or you can privately message me. I'll be more than happy to speak about what's going on in your classroom to see if we can come up with a solution for you. And if so, this is the ultimate fast track, because I teach you how to maximize your engagement and get your classroom on track in a fraction of the time that it took me to learn how to do this. Okay. So here's what happened. I'll reach out to you. You comment, chat, or send me a private message, and I will reach out to you personally, and I'll give you an actionable plan that you can use and implement inside your classroom, and connect you with something that can confidently help you. So if you got value in this training, guys, tonight, comment value, okay? I want to remind you guys as a replayers, if you're watching replay, comment replay. And I'm going to invite you guys on to our next training, which will be next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here inside of our group. I will pin this to the featured section for you guys to easily access. If you're watching the pre-play, if you want to go back and get some tips. And yes, if you haven't checked out the content, 2 things. If I need a recap section at the end, but 2 things. If you have not seen my classroom tour, I did a classroom tour today inside of our classroom. Check that out. And number 2, if you have not seen the content calendar for this month, it is available as well. I've pinned it as well, so you know what topic we're already talking about. Every Tuesday, I'm giving you guys more value this year. I'm trying to give you way more value than I've given you before. So now you can view the content calendar the first of each month of what I'm talking about each Tuesday, and it gives you a description about that topic, a little short description of what we're going to do. Christine says value. Awesome, Christine. Love it. I love when you guys get value from this. So I do want to thank you guys for joining me live. And I will see you next week, next Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, here inside of our group, the Pre-K Playbook for Classroom Management. Love you guys. I'll see you next week. Bye.